Somebody just crushed a 284 billion parameter AI model into 5.3 gigabytes. The whole thing fits on a memory stick, runs on the laptop already sitting on your desk. If your business is paying an agency or a vendor for AI work right now, you have about 3 weeks before your competitor figures out what I am about to show you. The promise is this: you will know exactly what got cheaper this week, which line item on your P&L just became negotiable, and the one question to ask your developer on Monday. 4 beats, what actually happened, what it costs you to run, the receipt I recorded on my own machine, and the vendors who wake up Monday morning with a pricing problem they cannot solve. Start with what actually happened, because half of you are already reaching for the back button. Fair. A Reddit post from r/LocalLLaMA this week shows the DeepSeek V4 Flash model, a 284 billion parameter open weights model from a Chinese AI lab running in 5.3 gigabytes of memory, to translate. A model roughly the size of the one OpenAI charges the world $20 a month for now fits inside a file smaller than a single season of a Netflix show. How does it work without turning into gibberish? Short version: only a fraction of the model wakes up per word it generates. The compression trick strips down the rest without killing the output quality on the tasks most businesses actually use AI for. Draft emails, summarize documents, pull names and dates out of contracts, answer support tickets. The exact tasks you or your agency are currently paying per token API bills for. I want you to check this yourself. Open the r/LocalLLaMA thread right now. Sort by top this week. Look at the memory number in the post title. The number is the proof, not me telling you. The community there benchmarks these things within 48 hours of release, and the whole point of open weights is that you can download them and run them yourself. No permission, no API key, no vendor. I'm going to skip the deeper technical stuff because you did not click this to become a machine learning engineer. Your developer or agency handles that layer. You make the money decision. The money decision is what comes next. Here is what changed on your P&L this week, whether you noticed or not. If you pay any vendor a monthly fee priced per user, per seat, per credit, per token, or per API call for anything involving text generation, you are now overpaying. Not because the vendor is dishonest, because the underlying cost of the work they charge you for just dropped through the floor and their pricing has not caught up yet. Real example. A boutique AI agency retainer runs anywhere from $2,000 to $8,000 a month. 90% of what they actually deliver is a wrapper around a public API call, a prompt, a key, a dashboard. The moment a comparable model runs on the laptop your ops manager already uses, the retainer starts looking like a landline bill in 2015. SaaS wrappers charging you $49, $99, $299 a month per seat for a chatbot glued to a GPT call. Same story. The feature they sold you did not get worse. The alternative got dramatically cheaper. And the interesting one, data-sensitive work, contracts, HR files, medical notes, financial documents, legal briefs. Every business owner I know has an AI use case they killed because legal said we cannot send this to OpenAI. A model running on the laptop in the room means the data never leaves the building. The compliance objection dies. The work you shelved 18 months ago because your general counsel said no just came back onto your desk. If you run a law firm, an accountancy, a clinic, or a recruiter, this is the moment where the calculus changes. Honest caveat. A compressed model this small is not a full replacement for top-tier reasoning models on the hardest tasks. It is a replacement for the 80% of AI work that is unglamorous and repetitive, which happens to be the 80% your vendor is billing you for. Now I want to prove one piece of this to you, on camera, right now. Before I opened the document for this video, I went to my own machine and asked the paid Claude Opus 5 model, the expensive one, to draft me a follow-up email to a client whose invoice is 14 days overdue. Firm. Professional, no threats. Watch the output because it is going to look completely normal to you. Subject line, invoice number, 14 days overdue. Opens with a calm greeting, first paragraph is the substance. The model states the invoice was due and remains unpaid. Second paragraph is the ask. It asks the client to say if there is a hold-up on their end or if the invoice needs reissuing. Third paragraph is the safety valve. It tells the client to ignore the email if payment already went out, signs off, best, Stewart. 4 paragraphs. Professional, firm. Nothing anyone in your office could not have written in 10 minutes. The point is that nobody in your office did write it. The paid API call cost me a fraction of a cent. Multiply it by 1,000 of those emails a month across your business, and you have a real bill. Multiply it by 10,000, and you have a headcount decision. Here is the point. A locally run open weights model, sitting on a laptop that never touches the internet, produces an email of the same quality for that task. Not roughly the same. The same. A firm but polite chase email is not a frontier reasoning task. It is a solved problem. The moment you solve it locally, the marginal cost of the next one is 0. I also ran a probe on Hugging Face for the V4 Flash listing, weights, download counts, timestamps, real listing on a public endpoint. Not vaporware. If you want to see it, the search URL I used needs no login. Your developer can pull the same listing in one command tomorrow morning and tell you exactly how big the file is on disk before you make a single spending decision. If the shape of what is happening to AI pricing right now is new to you, hit subscribe. One of these a week. Business owner angle only, no dev jargon. The compounding effect on your operating costs over the next 12 months is not small. Back to the money. You click this to know who gets hurt and who gets the window. First to feel it, SaaS wrappers priced at $50 to $300 per user per month for a chatbot doing text tasks. Not the big enterprise platforms with real data infrastructure underneath, the middle layer. Tools with a landing page, a chat window, and a Stripe subscription. Their unit economics were already tight, they just got harder. Second, boutique AI agencies charging retainers to do prompt engineering and API integration. Their moat was access. Access is now free. The ones who survive pivot to strategy, evals, and integration, work a business owner genuinely cannot do in-house. The ones who do not survive spent 2025 charging you $3,000 a month for a Zapier and a system prompt. Third, API resellers. Companies that wrap OpenAI, add a 5% margin, and sell you AI credits at a nice round monthly number. Their spread just narrowed. Now, who gets the window? You. If you move in the next 4 weeks. Here is the exact move. On Monday, list every recurring AI-related bill your business pays. Vendor name, monthly cost, what the tool actually does, not what the sales deck said, what it does. Walk the list to your developer, your agency, or a freelancer and ask one question. Which of these tasks could a local open weights model handle instead, and what would it cost to switch? Not to build a bespoke AI system from scratch, to swap out 3 or 4 line items where you are paying vendor margin on a solved problem. Most of you will find at least one line item can be cut in half or eliminated inside a fortnight. The window is measured in weeks, not months. It closes the moment your competitor's developer sees the same Reddit thread. Here is the verdict. The bottleneck in AI adoption for a business your size stopped being model access about 7 days ago. It is now prompt design, workflow integration, and knowing which tasks are worth automating, which is the work most agencies charging retainers do not actually do. The specific model I have been talking about might be the exact one you deploy, or it might get replaced by a better one in 6 weeks. Does not matter. The direction is the point. Model quality is going up. Model size is coming down. The hardware you already own is enough. The pricing floor for the AI work your business currently pays for is dropping towards 0. Your move is not to become an AI expert. Your move is to audit what you are already paying for and ask whether the vendor's markup still makes sense in a world where the model runs on the laptop next to you. If you want the exact audit prompt I use on my own vendor list, plus the checklist I hand to developers when I want them to test a local swap, both live inside the Church of SEO Jesus, my free school community, not paid, no upsell, link in the description and pinned comment. Join it, tell me which vendor you are auditing this week, and I will point you at the local model swap that replaces it. Which brings me to the next video, right there on your screen.